Why is it that many of the players who spend the most time in the gym end up underperforming the most when they get to real games? Here's the unfair truth, especially if you're a player who works really hard. Nobody cares about how hard you work or how much time you spend in the gym. They only care about the results. When a coach is looking down the bench, deciding on who to sub in the game or who to drop the game-winning play for, they're not asking themselves about who spent the most time in the gym. They're asking themselves who's the most proven in games. And when a coach is out recruiting, they don't care about who's put more work in. They care about who's going to help them win games. Now, this might sound depressing, but it shouldn't, because if you're a player who already works really hard but aren't seeing the success in games that you want, this isn't about starting from zero again. It's just about working smarter. And if you understand these three things we're about to talk about, everything will change for you, and you're finally going to start playing in real games like the player that you train to be. The reason why a lot of players don't see success in games is because if you go and watch their workouts or their practice and you compare it to their games, it looks like they're training or playing in two completely different sports. When you go to their workouts, you see them taking shots without any sort of pressure on them. There's never any defense. There's no decisions to be made. And then you get into the game and it's chaotic and there's decisions and you have to be able to react to different things and overcome adversity and deal with defense. It is completely different. So the first thing you have to ask yourself is, are you truly preparing yourself to succeed in a game environment, or are you just training to get better at practice? Now, if you're unsure of this, here's the two things that you should add into your workouts to make sure that what you're doing is actually going to translate and prepare you to succeed in real games. Number one is that you want to train your decision making. So this means that you want to go against defense as much as possible. Even if it just means at the end of your workout, you find some random person to play one-on-one with for 5 minutes, that's better than nothing. If you're able to work out with a teammate or maybe a group of 3, and now you can play some 2-on-2 and work on different game situations, another really great way to make sure that what you're training is actually going to translate into games. And it's hard to describe this next piece, but if you've played basketball, you know what I mean. A skill that you do in a workout by yourself is just different when you get into a game and there's a defender trying to stop you. As simple as a between the legs move might be when it's just you in an empty gym, when there's someone who's hand checking you or trying to steal the ball, that move is going to feel different. So by making sure that you go against defense as much as possible, that you train not only the decision making, but also your ability to adapt those different moves to different situations, which leads us into point number 2, which is you want to add adaptability into your workouts as well. If you shoot 10 3-pointers in a game, think about how different all those shots are going to be. You might have one that's on the wing, and then the next one's in the opposite corner, then the next one's at the top of the key, and then the next one is off the dribble coming off of a ball screen. Now that's the obvious part, but also think about how much different those passes will probably be. You might have one pass that's perfect right to the center of your body. You might have one pass that's a little bit high, one pass is a little bit to the left. The point being, basketball is an imperfect game and it's a chaotic game. So if you're unable to handle those two things, then you're going to struggle to perform in real games. So by adding in even 5 to 10 minutes in your workouts of practicing making shots off of bad passes or with your feet a little bit messed up or maybe a little bit more rushed, a little quicker than normal, that's going to make you an adaptable player that's going to be able to succeed in those imperfect game moments, which happen a lot more than you might think. The second thing you need to do in order to have better success in real games is develop confidence loops. The word confidence, everybody wants it. I hear from players every single day who tell me that they lack confidence in games, and a lot of times that's why they think they can't translate their practice work into actual in-game success. But the truth behind gaining real, unshakable confidence is about something called confidence loops. The true definition of confidence is the belief that you have what it takes to be successful. If you drive to the gas station down the street from your house every single day for 100 days straight, you're going to be really, really confident in your ability to do the same thing on the 101st day. But if someone comes up to you and says, hey, we need you to fly this helicopter to that gas station, you're going to be way less confident because you don't know for sure if you can be successful. And if you lack confidence, it's because in your mind, you have to fly a helicopter down the street. You want to step onto the court feeling like you're a superhero, like you can do no wrong, like every shot you're going to take is going to go in. The problem is that most players are constantly hesitating and second guessing themselves. Like they missed their first 3 shots of the game and next thing you know, they won't shoot the ball again or they're passing up open shots. Their coach yells at them one time and they crawl into their shell, afraid to make another mistake. And despite putting in all of the work, they constantly underperform because of this vicious cycle. This is an example of a negative confidence loop where you have a bad performance and it leads to even lower confidence, and that's going to lead to an even worse performance, which is going to lead to even less confidence. It's a horrible cycle that so many players are stuck in. The great news about this is that there's also positive confidence loops. So you make a play, that increases your confidence, which means that you're going to make an even better play, which increases your confidence even more. And the best players are able to put themselves into those positive confidence loops. Now, your next question probably is, how can I go out and be successful when I don't have the confidence yet? This is where it's crucial to understand risk reward. We want situations that are low risk but high reward, and we want to avoid situations where it's the opposite. So we want to identify the situations where you're most likely to be successful, and we want to hunt those consistently because we know that if we attempt those things a couple times, we're probably going to be successful, and that's going to start that positive confidence loop. And the number one way for you to do this is to recognize when you have an advantage. This is very simple. It's just a moment where the defense is weaker than normal. This could be a closeout. This could be a mismatch where someone's slower than you, or maybe someone smaller than you switches onto you, or it could be a numbers advantage. Whatever it may be, you want to constantly be hunting those advantage situations, knowing that if you are aggressive then, the risk is lower and the reward is higher and you're more likely to be successful. And this is the truth behind building confidence. It's not about going out and trying to be perfect and never making mistakes, but instead, if you go out and you have at the top of your mind that you're only hunting for those 3 or 4 advantage situations, the game is going to slow down and it's going to feel easy. A lot of players want to get into games and move mountains right away. In reality, just focus on kicking a rock down the street first, and eventually that mountain's going to move for you. And the third thing that's preventing you from playing well in games is that you don't train your mind like you train your body. The first mistake that players make is thinking that it's a new workout or a new drill that's going to solve their problems. The biggest limiting factor that I see for players is the fact that they don't see the game well enough. And this means that no matter how skilled you get, no matter how well you can shoot or dribble or pass, you're always going to be limited. You may have the skills to be a 16-point per game scorer, but because you don't see the game well enough, you're going to be stuck at 6. So the first thing you need to do is get rid of the invisible ceiling that's over you, and you do that by training your mind. Now, the best way to do this is to study the games. Like I talked about earlier, being able to recognize advantages that happen are the best times to apply those skills. So spend time studying film. Now, I'll leave a link down below, but I have a free 28-day Basketball IQ email course. And honestly, I released this a little over a month ago, and I was blown away by the incredible amount of feedback that I've gotten from players who are doubling their points per game, having their first ever career triple-double, who are scoring 30% of their team's points, going from being like a bench player on their team. And I literally get new emails about the progress that players are seeing through this course every single day. So if you truly want to train your mind like you're training your body, this is the best way for you to do it. And it's going to be very simple. You'll get an email every single day, 2 to 3 minutes long, so that you can apply right away into your games and start seeing better results. That'll be the top link down below, completely free. Definitely check it out. One of the best habits that you can build in order to become somebody who trains their mind the way that they train their body is to take 10 minutes every day and spend that studying the game. There's a million ways you can do it. A couple simple ways would be take a player who plays your same position or a similar play style to you and spend 10 minutes watching them. Maybe it's Mikal Bridges, maybe it's Dante DiVincenzo, maybe it's Jalen Brunson. But take 10 minutes and watch some clips of them, see what you can pick up, see if there's anything that you see that you can apply to your own game. The same way that you would brush your teeth every day, you would shower every day, building that habit is a life changer. And I think the last piece of it is studying your own film. So going through and watching and seeing what did you miss. There are so many things that happen in games that you don't see in the moment. And you only can see them when you go back and actually watch and look for these things. Now, if you want help going through your film, I'll link that down below, but I just started offering that as well. You can definitely check that out if you're interested. At the end of the day, it's not about how many hours you train, it's about the results on the court. If you can learn to train for the real game environment, build those positive confidence loops, and train your mind the same way that you train your body, then it's inevitable that you're going to have great success in games, not just in practice. Like I mentioned, check out that free 28-day Basketball IQ email course down below. And if you're interested in me breaking down your film, that's also linked in the description too. Appreciate you for watching. Talk soon. Peace.